King George III in coronation robes. Nice touch for the room of an English duchess. King George III in coronation robes. Nice touch for the room of an English duchess.
Okay, so I've pretty much looked at everybody as a suspect. So now, okay, so servants. All Mortimer servants wear a mask. It is a reoccurring subject of conversation among the guests. No one knows the true reason. Vulnerability, conviction to be discovered. George Washington, to be discovered. George Washington is the founding father and first president of the United States of America. Washington shared his life between military and political success. Very early on, he was introduced by Sarah de Dechet into the upper circles of an influential secret society from the Bronx, the Golden Order. He later took the helm of the American branch. Tired of politics, he wanted to retire to the property in Virginia. But that was without taking into account Lord Mortimer, who encouraged him to come out of retirement. On the advice of his friend, he ran for a second term and was successful. Invited by Mortimer to his island, Washington likes to attend such social gatherings incognito. Okay. Napoleon. Immunity, conviction, immunity, politics to be discovered. Napoleon Bonaparte is a young lieutenant in the French army. In his early youth, Napoleon was uprooted from his native Corsica, and thus he bore a grudge against the aristocracy, the clergy, and the French people who failed to accept him. He joined the French army with the firm intention of making a name for himself and of marketing history by providing his true worth. Searching for backing of any kind, he attracted the sympathy and support of Lord Mortimer. Invited to the latter's reception, Napoleon tends to prove his value to the world. Piaggio Giuseppe, to be discovered. His Eminence, the Cardinal Giuseppe Piaggi, is a legate of Pope Pius V. A distinguished speaker, Giuseppe Piaggi worked throughout his career to serve the principles of the Roman Catholic Church, a man of science, an amateur philosopher. He quickly caught the ear of the Pope, who discreetly named him Cardinal in Pector. He was thus able to use the relationship of trust to help Pius V in his difficult mission of guiding the faithful. Invited by Sir Gregory Home, Piaggi is delighted to meet his old friend Mortimer in order to represent the interests of the Holy See. Dichet Louis, the only son of Sarah Louis Marie de Rouchet, is a young Parisian aristocrat. Hey, Pester, how are you? Ever since he was a young child, Louis moved in his mother's circles, and so it was natural that on his 14th birthday he entered the Golden Order, the secret society headed by Sarah. Precocious Louis progressed quickly at her side, despite the daily treatment his mother proscribed for his chronic migraines. He climbed the ladder until he was able to assist his mother in occult cases for which he was particularly talented. As time went by, he became shaped in the image that his mother had held for him. Whoa, hold on a second. I love last cause Lucia was pissed off. I know better than to stick around a pissed off woman. Whoa, what happened, Pastor? Everything pointed to one day young Louis becoming the head of the Golden Order. Okay, so that's him in one big swoop. Alright, so Hillsbury, Emily. Vulnerability is psychology to be discovered. Emily Hillsbury is an English duchess, close to the English crown. Very discreet about her origins. Remember I said shout out to Alicia's butt in 7 days as a joke. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about that. Yeah, she's a little under a little bit of stress, so don't worry about it. Don't take it personal. It was a joke. I took it as a joke. She just wasn't in the mood for it that day, but you're cool. Don't worry. Going on to the story. So I said I'm only here for a good time and left. Oh, don't worry. It's okay. You're here now. That's all that matters. Sit back, relax, enjoy the game because I'm enjoying it. I'm just getting to know all of the guests that are in the house. So right now, I've gone over the servants in the house, Washington, Bonaparte, Napoleon, Piaggio, Giuseppe, and now I'm on Emily. So, very discreet about her origins, Emily only came onto the political scene after her wedding that some qualified as a marriage of interest to an old English aristocrat on the decline. Libertarian, modern, but discreet, she was taking it upon herself to establish close ties with her peers. In a few years, she has become the favorite diplomat of the Queen, which is what probably prompted her Prime Minister William Pitt to take her as a private secretary, thus provoking much suspicion and jealousy. As a regular visitor, Emily accepted Sir Gregory Holmes' invitation to come to Lord Mortimer's island because for nothing in the world would she miss one of these famed receptions. So just to catch you guys all up, if you're just starting to watch this and wondering what the game is about, there are 7 guests in a very nice room up on an island somewhere discreet. They've all been invited to this place by Lord Mortimer, and the guests are very famous people, as you can see. And there's been a disappearance, which is this guy's mom. So they're trying to figure out where she's gone to. And there's been a murder. So I'll get to the person who's been murdered. And this guy has been assigned to basically try to figure out her death. So I like this game so far. It's a little bit of suspense, a little bit of everything in it. It reminds me a lot of the board game called Clue. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it just as much as I like it. It's actually a pretty good game. I thought that too at first, and then I started to play it. It's not that bad. If you stick around, or even if you watch my videos on this from when I first started it, and actually watch it through along with me, you'll start to like it. It's really good. It's not that bad. So I'm just going through all the guest biographies, I guess you want to call it, because I gotta make up my mind as to who has killed this person, and I don't want to just accuse anybody as well. So, we're on Sir Gregory Home, to be discovered. Sir Gregory Home, Baron of Nottingham, is a very influential British aristocrat. Confirmed royalist Sir Gregory Home spent his career expanding the influence of the United Kingdom throughout the world. From the flourishing East India Company to the Spanish trading posts in America, he stamped his hallmark on key decisions made by the world's preeminent economy power. In England, he contributed to the reduction of the national debt, and being very attached to family values, he invested time in the working class, creating a charity schools in order to offer a decent education to the future links in the next industrial revolution. Yes, this is a guy with a lot of makeup on. This is how they dressed back in the days. They wore wigs, they put powder on their faces, and they wore a little bit of makeup. Don't ask me why, but that's how it was in that time. Necrobuilder Home always finds pleasure in attending the social gatherings and his old friend Lord Mortimer. Oh shit. Crap. That's not what I meant to. Okay, so that was Sir Gregory Holmes. This is the Peru. Okay, so this is another guest that's staying at this manor. Jacques Peru is one of the fathers of the Revolutionary Tribunal of Paris. During the Terror, he quickly became one of the most worrying figures in all of Paris. He did distinguish himself by taking part of the siege of the Bastille and the capture of Louis the whatever, the current king of France. He was involved in the creation of the Revolutionary Tribunal. Is he a man of law or torture? Nobody dares say. The judge of the people has overseen many trials that sent opponents and traitors to the revolution of the Guillon. Peru interrupted his revolutionary activities when Lord Mortimer, his patron, invites him to join the later social gatherings. Okay? This is von Wöllner, Christopher von Wöllner, the Peruvian minister of religion, a friend of King Frederick William of Frisson. Von Wöllner, 60 managed his estate, former pastor, a member of the Masonic Lodge. He had all the time he needed to convert his king to his point of view. Together they opened their own lodge under the influence of the Revolution, passionate about the occult sciences and calming. He led war revolution in the country and fiercely combined the ideas of enlightenment. A friend of Sir Gregory Holmes, von Wöllner believes in spiritual economy, of which the materia prima is the human souls. Okay. Cody Manuel, we haven't discovered him yet. Oh, alright. Emma. Emma Hillsbury is the twin sister of Emily Hillsbury. That's right, she's a twin. Forgot about that. Living in the shadow of her sister, Emma shares the same identity with her in the eyes of the world. The two sisters linked to their destiny in the most intimate way possible. Workplace, boyfriends, lovers. The two sisters shared everything together. This double identity was much appreciated by the Charlotte de Mecklenburg-Stilts, the President Queen of England, when she asked the two sisters to serve the crown. But with the time, Emma had increasingly greater difficulty with her role as a double. It is thus tired of her role that Emma travels to the Mortimer Manor as diplomatic representative of England. So she's a twin. So there's two of them. They look a lot like each other. But one's Emily and the other one's Emma. Sarah de Richette's. This is Richette's mother, the one that's gone missing on the island. This is how the whole thing unraveled, just because everyone's trying to find her. Sarah de Richette is a rich French aristocrat. 34 years ago, Sarah took over one of the most important secret societies, the Golden Order. A woman of strong will, Sarah endeavored to infiltrate the highest circles of society, political trades, transactions, secret of state, paranormal spheres. The Order had an eye over everything. One of the biggest areas of growth that Sarah brought to the Order was the development of its branches in America, Europe, and Central Africa, not to mention the expansion of her occult section, which she took care of personally. Since he was just a boy, Sarah had begun preparing her son, Louis, to become the new face of the Golden Order. So, that's her role. Yes, we're trying to find her. She's gone missing on the island. The island's this little tiny island in the middle of nowhere. And there's also been a murder in this place. And so now they're trying to figure out both the disappearance of her and the murder of this young lady. Of this young lady, Elizabeth Adams. But before we get to her, this is the gentleman who's invited them all to his palace out in the middle of nowhere. Lord William Alexander Mortimer, Marquis of Westforshire and peer of Great Britain. It's an extremely rich English aristocrat, as discreet as he is influential. An investor of talent, Mortimer's success in business was masterful. He finished by withdrawing from the public arena and isolating himself more and more often on the private island. A major patron of the arts, he finances a large number of artists to diverse fields and takes great pleasure in bringing together unexpected personalities. He does the same with the greats of this world, the men of influence and men of state of the time. He regularly organizes social gatherings on this private island. off the coast of England. So it's a private island on the coast of England. And this, lastly but leastly, is Elizabeth Adams. She is the one that has been murdered. The daughter of John Adams, Vice President of the United States. Elizabeth was rejected by her parents at birth and was declared stillborn. Brought up in isolation, she grew into a frail young woman and with bipolar disorder, devoured by her terrible fits of anxiety. Her deepest secrets were slowly gnawing away at her from inside. Despite numerous treatments, nothing could cure her. The young woman continued to descend into a folly. As a friend of Sir Gregory Home and of Lord Mortimer, John Adams decided to send his daughter to Lord Mortimer's manor in the hope that he could help her. With this little hope, Elizabeth has now been at the manor for a short while. Okay, so now you know the backstory. She's been murdered, the mother's missing, so it's this guy's job to investigate her death. Alright, so I just came out of the twins' room. Let's see. I'm headed towards Peru. Bonaparte's Napoleon's room. Peru's room, the revolutionary room. Let's see if I have anything in my thing. I still have 2 keys. A symbol with the ring shaped as an occult symbol for water. A small key with ring shaped as 5 circles. My character is this young guy. Right here. He is Louis Rocher. Son of Sarah Rocher. She's the mother. That's the son. So she's like a very, she's the leader of a cult, per se, the secret society, the consul. And she's gone missing, so now her son he's being brought up to basically take over what she started. So right at the moment, he was looking for his mother's disappearance, but now he's being involved in a murder, which was unexpected, but there's only like 7 guests at this place, so the guy that has had all of them come to this place has asked him to solve her murder and to try to make it as discreet as possible. I know, right? I was thinking the same thing. Okay, so I'm headed this way, so I'm gonna go and see Napoleon's room and see if there's any see if there's anything that I missed in his room that I can open. You're welcome. My pleasure. I'm really enjoying this game. It is a little slow-paced, more slow-paced than I think most people are used to, but it is a good story. About the morgue? No. Yes, his mom's missing. The old lady that's part of this council that she founded is missing. There is no morgue, unfortunately, not yet. So this is Napoleon.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
Okay, so he spotted somebody else by her room when she was alive. So that means there's someone probably not part of the group that was invited. I'm doing good, thanks.
I've been studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. It must surely be his military side. I wish they all could be like that. My investigation would be finished already. Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaggi as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight. So I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did you notice
Black
anything
Mirror? No,
out of
I've
the ordinary?
never heard of that.
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
This game reminds me of Assassin's Creed. How? Damn, still can't open this.
The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius. Yet another one with delusions of grandeur.
Yeah, the graphics aren't that bad.
French actor Talma is Nero in Britannicus, the last emperor of the Caesar dynasty. There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
Oh, my eyes are like really annoying me today. I've read that already.
Vercingetorix throws down his arms at the feet of Julius Caesar by Royer, two great army chiefs.
I am tired. I've been working a lot lately.
Vercingetorix throws down his arms at the feet of Julius Caesar by Royer, two great army chiefs.
Yeah, I always have trouble sleeping. I don't really sleep. Kind of just stay up until morning comes. But that's how I've always been, so... Right, so the next room, if I'm not mistaken, is Mortimer Jacques PERU. Yeah, I am insomniac. Oh, this is the rude dude. I think he's the killer. Because he was last seen beating the poor girl up. He's not a very nice man.
The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Guess my room is not that bad.
Unlock it. It won't let me unlock it. Damn it. Hey, Big Daddy. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh, you're awesome. Thank you. Welcome, raiders. What the heck is going on with my thing? Jawa! How's it going? Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Welcome, raiders. I'm playing a game called Council. It's a murder mystery. Kind of reminds me of the real life board game called Clue. 7 guests at a manor. One's missing and one's dead. And this poor soul has to investigate the dead person's room. And investigate, period. No problem. Thank you for the lurk. So, I'm in the middle of investigating the murder. I think I'm in the murderer's realms at the moment, but I can't be too sure.
Dear Monsieur Peru, I'm writing to thank you for the funds you sent. All right. I've retrieved everything.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself. I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting. All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. Goodbye, sir. We shall meet again.
Probably.
Alright, so he avoids the questions. I think he's a suspect, personally. Okay, let's see the map. I'm not sure if I can go to the bottom of the steps. Nope. room, second level it is. So I've discovered everybody on the first floor, and I've already answered all their questions. So now let's go to the second floor and see if I've missed anyone up there. Ooh, this place is nice though. There is a box up here that I had a hard time opening. Oh.
Hey, a Russian ruble. I wonder what it'd be worth today.
I think it's this one.
Which four-letter word could open this?
Gotta figure this out. Screw it. I gotta go tell him who I think the suspect is.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
I'm sorry, my lord, but I don't have any evidence conclusive enough to allow me to name the culprit with certitude.
Really? I see. Well, that's your decision,
Hey,
Louis,
Solstra.
and I accept it. Given the distinguished guests and the sensitive political issues involved at the conference, I trust you'll leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
She isn't missing, you know.
What? What do you mean?
My mother has left traces in every nook and cranny of your island, my lord. She's definitely here. Now, what worries me most is why she doesn't show herself.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the cannon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having the support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play, and I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
She was looking for someone.
What do you mean?
In Paris, we were working on a smuggling case to do with occult objects. We had just arrested a dealer who intended to go to you to meet a buyer. My mother was here to find out to whom he intended to sell his stolen treasure.
Oh. What was the name of your dealer?
If I'm not mistaken, the dealer was called Bon Rocher.
Name means nothing to me.
You're welcome.
There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wöllner, and myself.
How did my mother and Duchess Hillsborough get on?
Oh, very well, I believe. They spent a lot of time together. Without wanting to exaggerate, I rather got the impression that Emily reminded your mother of herself when she was young. The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Ah, yes. His famous cotton gin. It was supposed to revolutionize cotton production in the United States.
It will revolutionize the world, Louis. The potential of this invention is much greater. Tomorrow, all industries will be switching to simple but large-scale production. Of that I'm sure.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades, how Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends, and how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Oh, I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
The death?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol.
What?
Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for?
I'm glad you're still here.
Why would she do that?
Means you're
Excuse me,
intrigued.
but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation, until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Possibly.
The room was
drunk.
just opposite Mortimer's study.
That was the girl that got killed. She would drink all the time. Go to the tower room. Okay, so tower room. Where's the tower? No idea.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be?
The man with the sword.
Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Dante's paradise.
Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays. What is this disc?
Oh, I love horror games. I'll play them anytime.
St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior. The door appears to be locked on the other side.
Well,
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor. We'll see if it works.
cool.
It's open.
Yeah, his mother. His mother probably did.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust. As if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. I don't know, what does that mean? Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently.
Okay.
There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. St. John, painted by Guido Reni. It's St. John, painted by Guido Reni. The New Testament. And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in Jordan. Do all things without murmurings and disputes.
Oh, thank you so much, bartender, for the raid. Welcome, raiders.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord.
Hello, everybody,
transmitted by the
welcome.
Holy Spirit.
Thank you so much
who
for
appears
being
here in the guise of an angel.
I'm playing the game called the Console. It's kind of sort of like the board game Clue. So there's 7 guests, one's missing, one died. Now this guy is in charge of
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew,
figuring out who
painted by
killed that
Guido
person.
Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who
Thank
appears
you for
here
the lurk,
in the guise of
and
an
thank you for
angel.
trusting me with your fellow followers and viewers. Thank you for being here.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
And thank you for the cheers. Cheers, mate. Ugh, I can't open it. Damn it.
Dante's Paradise.
Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Get up this way. Can't get that chest open.
This is Cersei.
Royal Jolty. Restore 2 Ever points to use it. First navigate alterations. Devil Storm. Temporarily reveals the immunities and vulnerabilities affecting the dialogue choice. Ah. Okay. Inventory. Diversion. Special grasp within the situation. Let's go here. Vigilance. Questioning.
Amber crystals.
painted by Guido Reni.
Okay. Now will let me out of the room, and I would really like to get out of this room.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air. Saying with a loud voice, "Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing."
Dante's Paradise.
Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Why won't it let me out?
A ruble.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out how to get out of this room now.
painting of St. Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni. I guess I'll just come back later.
Hello, welcome back. Just trying to figure out how to get out of this room.
St. John is known as the youngest of Christ's apostles, when we often give credit to St. John for having written about the apocalypse in the last book of the Bible. It's St. John, painted by Guido Reni.
This room has paintings of all Gospels, so I'm just trying to figure out all the clues, because it's not letting me out.
Take heed that ye practice your justice before men, to be seen differently by them. Otherwise, ye shall have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. This volume dates from the first edition by Gutenberg. It's the first book that was ever printed. The pages are covered in annotations in Latin, French, and Hebrew. Someone spent years studying this Bible. Do all things without murmurings and disputes. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Sorry, my eyes are bothering me. Oh, I just said that my eyes are bothering me. I apologize. Oh, still won't let me out. Ugh. Okay, so the royal jelly. Get out of that room, so I'm trying to figure out how to get out of here. Alright, I think I'm gonna stop it here. So I'm gonna actually see who's streaming and who deserves a raid themselves. Thank you, Big Daddy, for the raid and Bartender for the raid. I appreciate you both. 1 second. Hello? Sorry. What's up? Who's pissing you off? Sorry. What's up?
I just found out that we have to clean and sanitize the whole dealership every 2 hours.
What? Why?
Some real bullshit. I'm telling y'all nothing.
Wow.
I'm not fucking doing it. Just take it. I'm keeping a heads up. The shit's gonna hit the fan when I get back.
Okay. Alright. You should have had that talk with him the first time you got that email. Take deep breaths. Go talk to your manager when you get back and discuss what you had asked originally for, and if he doesn't give it to you, then tell him you're not going to do it. Okay? Okay, just don't say it like that. You gotta bring it up in a more professional manner. Okay? Alright. I love you too. Streaming? Sorry. Okay. Bye. Sorry you guys all had to hear that. Ugh. Okay, let's see, who can I raid? Oh, I know exactly who I am. Okay, good. You only heard me. That's good. Whew. Alright, so we are going to go and raid my friend Adriana Gaming. You guys are going to love her. Full of personality, vibrant streamer, plays a variety of different games. I believe right now she is on a PUBG game. So if you guys are looking for a little bit more of a pumped game to watch, she's the person to do it. So let's go on over there and show her some love and support. I've known her for a very, very long time, and you won't be disappointed. So just give me 1 second, and we will get this started. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you all being here and watching. If you're just tuning in, I'm about to raid someone. Alright, let's go in there and show her some love. Thank you guys again for coming in and watching. We're going to raid Miss Adriana Gaming. I'm not even sure if this worked. Let's check now. Because for some reason it's not showing me. I don't even know if it worked. Thanks, guys.